Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is a very important video as well too. This is going to be our guide for Google My Business. We're going to claim our business profile and we're going to optimize that profile. So let's jump into it. So Google My Business, it ranks in the Google Map Pack. You must verify it through snail mail. We're going to use the USPS address that we already had verified, and then we're going to add content to it once we claim it. Now, I've already claimed the profile for Chomp Orthodontics that we're going to use to help you guys get a better understanding, as it can take anywhere from a week or more to get the postcard in the mail. So let's take a look at what exactly the map pack is. And we can tell you about it's very important. So let's say Orthodontist West Hills, right? What's that bringing up? What's the first thing that we see? We see that map pack. This is what we want to dominate. This is the first experience that people are getting with our brand, or with a brand, with an orthodontist in general. A lot of times we'll have 4 paid ads up here, then this area, and we want to be in here. This is right where we want to be. So what we're trying to do is get into this position. I'm gonna get you the stats on exact calls. Delete. And then we have our organic listings. And a lot of times in these organic listings, you'll see one company, and then you'll see Yelp or other listing directory sites, depending on what the industry is. Legal has a bunch of them. It'll be Yelp, Find Lawyer, Avo. So it could be difficult depending on the industry. That's why this is so important to dominate. And then once we dominate this, let's say that people want to go look. As you guys get a better understanding for running paid ads, a lot of times there'll be a paid ad here. And I'm wondering if because I'm in incognito or because it's after hours and these guys actually know a little bit about what they're doing on the paid side. They don't have any ads running because, as we see, everything's closed right now. And oh, here we are. Orthodontist West Hills. We are 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in 5th position right now. And that's with pretty much doing the bare of nothing, building a site, doing a couple pieces right, and we're in 5th position. So you can see how powerful what we're doing can be. Now let's say, for example, we needed to claim our profile. So we're going to go to Google My Business, and we're going to claim our listing. All right, so we're going to start now. What we're going to do now, we're going to go to Google My Business, get our free business listing, start now. All right, now I'm going to use a different business name. Chomp Dentistry. Now, it's got to be different so I could walk you through what the verification process is going to look like. If I use the same address, it's just going to log me into my account. So we can have a different address. So we're going to say we are 6700, but we're going to do 200. So that way, or 120. So that way it's a different address so I can walk you through this process. And then we're going to copy and paste West Hills. All right. Then we're going to do California. Then we're going to bring in the zip code. We're going to bring in phone number. Enter category. So we're going to say a dentist. And we're going to make something up. http://www.chompdentistry.com. Either one of these you can mark. If you do yes, it's going to do a radius. It's not going to, and it's also going to do your location. If you say no, then it's going to do your specific location, and that's all stuff we can update later on too, but for now we're going to do no. If you had a pizza delivery company, yes would be one of those options. We're going to continue. This does not match. I do have the ability to manage this. Setting it up for us. So they've added a few options where we've now got by phone, by text, right? So this is the phone number they have, or by mail. Now, this is a little bit different than we'll normally see, as this is relatively new. Usually it's by mail, but I'm guessing because there's a dentist or an orthodontist, they're thinking that this may be just a sub-office of that, and that's why we're seeing the ability to do it by phone, by text, or by mail. And if we would do it by mail, then usually what happens is I'll say biz owner give to Jason, right? And then that way when they get this, they go, oh, I give it to this guy. This is what he's talking about, that postcard. So now let's take a look. Let's say that we did it. We've got Chop Orthodontics back. So now we're going to look at optimizing our profile. So I usually go in through Google Plus. And remember that we've set up our Gmail profile. Then you just accept your Google Plus profile. Being this one's already set up, then we're going to come and we're going to go to our account, and then we click to manage account. I know it's a little confusing at times. And then permissions is where you can add the other owner if you want to add yourself. If you set it up through your own email, Gmail, you can then add permissions for other users. And we're going to go to Google My Business. All right, and then what we're going to look at is we're going to edit. So we've got our info. Now I'm going to update this for you so you can see. This is one of the tricks. Now remember, our business name on all of our listings need to be exact Chomp Orthodontics. Google My Business is the one exception where I change it, and right now it's working. So what I'll do is I'll lead off with our primary keywords that we're going for. So orthodontist in West Hills, braces, retainers, smiles, and more. Chomp Orthodontist. Now I'm not sure, this may be a little long, but it's got our brand name in here. This does work for ranking. So you saw we were in 5th position. So let's take a look at when we do this. Orthodontist in West Hills. Now we're pending. So we've got our address. Now we need to update that, remember, because we had STE. Should do that without having to verify, because it knows that it's not an address change, it's just a text change, see? And then sometimes when we refresh, it updates it automatically. Put in our hours. Remember that we established our hours, in which I thought we had different Saturday hours. So this is why we have that workbook that we keep going back. So 9 to 4. So let's change our Saturday hours. Saturday. We're going to say 4 p.m. Apply. And pending. Then we're in special hours. Let's say we had, 4th of July or 4th of July next year. There it is, 4th of July. It's a Wednesday. Say that we're closed. Right, then you add new date, we'd apply. Our website. Now, this is important. So let's say that you're a restaurant and you want to add your menu, or and a lot of times your menu will be, let's say, Grubhub, and you'll have it on Grubhub, and then that's where they'll also book appointment URL. So you'll be actually able to, let me bring up a knowledge graph. So here you'd be able to actually book an appointment or order online. So it already made the updates, and this area, you can essentially not even have people reach the site, and you would be able to book an appointment, which, you know, if a business isn't aware of that, they could go and real quick, these are optimizations that you could do for a potential client for free, show a lot of value, and they're going to be like, wow, I got to hire you because you're adding a lot of great value. Now, this number 100, we've got to look into that because it shouldn't be doing that. Sweet. So it's saying that this is a number sign. So that's something to take into account as you do your updates. That shouldn't be too much of a big deal because that's telling me that it knows that suite equals number. We don't really need to pay attention on this side. If you got multiple stores, like say you're a public storage, then you'll put store codes if they've been assigned. Labels is something that we can use. So let's say orthodontist, right? Add label, dentist, because we're trying to sneak in on them. Braces, Invisalign, and apply those. Now, if you use in AdWords a specific location for a phone extension, that's something to get into paid advertising. That's a different course. Our offerings, so restroom, unisex, wheelchair accessible. You know, we want to be as friendly as possible. LGBTQ friendly. We accept new patients. So those are some of the things, and these are auto-populated by Google for the most part. Then we're going to take a look at our photos. Now, I've already added photos, but you're going to have your cover and your profile. Your profile, your primary image. Make sure, you know, in a future video, we're going to talk about optimizing our images. And what we're going to look at is that we're going to name it Orthodontist in West Hills, braces, retainers, smiles, and more. Oh, that's not that. Our file names, let me bring them up for you. So this is something to take into account, and I'd say go ahead, if you start doing this, look at that future video. But if you notice that we're giving specific names to these files, and then we're also using those same names as the alt attributes. We're also adding metadata into these images where we geotag. So, you know, when you do this, make sure to look into that video, as I didn't want to go into too much detail here. So take those, upload them here. So we're going to want to make sure that each of these areas are filled out as well too with the images based on each section. So by owner is just the images that the owner had uploaded. Same with by customer is by the customer. Then you have your 360, and this is usually done by a Google photographer who comes out to the location. And the good thing about this is that they have the ability to go in there and optimize them a little bit more effectively. They use some metadata within the images to show the location that they shot. That helps potentially a little bit with ranking the images, and then also you get that nice professional imagery of inside the office. And ideally, you know, what you want is that when people see these images is that they click around and they feel comfortable, and it is viewed as a place that they want to go. If they look at it and it looks run down, they're not going to want to go there. So get images with your teams. You want them smiling, you want them happy, you want people to feel comfortable coming into the office. You know, maybe some action shots if you're an orthodontist and you have also see kids, maybe showing yourself with kids as well too. And your different teams, maybe you have the front desk team, you have the dental hygienist, and then you also have the orthodontist. So keep that in mind and try and get as many of these input as possible. We're going to have our info about the business, which we were just looking at. They used to have the ability to where you could add a tagline and description, but they've taken that away recently. So we're going to look at another trick in which I'm going to show you within our open graph. I'm going to see if it works, that we're going to post and then use that as another form of marketing. So let's take so we'll take her, we're going to give her some margins out. Now we're going to upload that photo. Okay, so let's write our post. The best orthodontist options in West Hills free teeth whitening with first appointment. All right. Then we're going to add a button. Always try and add a button. Any call to action is great. So we're going to do HTTP Champworth. Okay, let's get my workbook. Make sure I got it right. I do this a lot. I try to type faster than I can accurately. Now we're going to preview. All right. Free teeth whitening with first appointment. No, let's go back. I want to make it stand out more. Free. And I like putting some asterisks around it because that helps make it pop. Now preview. Sign up. Publish. Okay. So here's our post that we just put up. Let's see if that worked. No, it hasn't come through yet. Let's give it some time. Sometimes it can take up to a minute. While we're waiting on that, let's go back to our profile. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to join communities. All right. Now, the reason we do this is because we come back and we post information in these communities. To get more plus ones. So we're going to ask join, join. Braces, yep. Orthodontics, yep. Join. You know, try and look for ones that got a good amount of members. The more members they have, you know, we'll go into dentist. Communities and 10,000. I'm already there. Dental humor. You know, you never know where you can get some additional plus ones from. That sends social signals to the site. It's a positive thing. Now let's take another look, see if that post came through. There it is. So it's just another way to game things, and they'll be looking for your brand, or if your knowledge graph comes up on its own, this will come up as well too. So it's just another way that we can get people to potentially engage with the site and drive more traffic to our website and get more customers. So hopefully this has been some good information for you. Looking forward to teaching more in some of these following videos as we got some great stuff coming. But this is definitely very important to optimize your Google My Business correctly, because this is the source of what's going to be placed in the map that we're going to look at beating everyone out with and helping dominate local business search.